Have you ever wondered why so many relationships start with fireworks but slowly lose their spark over time? Why passion fades, frustration builds, and couples drift apart, even when love still exists? The truth is, long-term satisfaction in a relationship isn't about grand gestures, luck, or trying to keep her constantly impressed. It's about something far deeper: your mindset, your self-mastery, and the way you show up as a man every single day. A relationship that lasts and thrives is built quietly, patiently, and deliberately. It requires clarity in communication, emotional discipline, personal growth, and the courage to lead with integrity without controlling or suffocating. In this guide, we'll uncover the Stoic secrets that allow men to maintain attraction, connection, and deep satisfaction over the years, secrets that transform ordinary relationships into partnerships of growth, passion, and enduring love. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where every story and lesson about love will help you find the answer. Today, we will explore a new perspective through the topic, the secret to maintaining satisfaction in a long-term relationship. These are real-life experiences and profound lessons that will change the way you perceive love. Follow me, because the most surprising and interesting things are still waiting for you ahead. Before starting, find a quiet place, put on your headphones and relax your mind. Let the sharing in this video help you feel more fully and enjoy every meaningful moment. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Let's begin. The Stoic secrets to maintaining deep satisfaction in long-term relationships. Every man dreams of a relationship that feels steady, passionate, and deeply fulfilling, not just in the beginning, but years, even decades later. Yet most relationships don't fail because of explosive arguments or dramatic betrayals. They fail quietly. Slowly. Through neglect, emotional drifting, and small habits that eat away at connection over time. But what if the key to long-term satisfaction isn't found in grand romantic gestures, or constant emotional intensity, or trying to mold your partner into the perfect woman? What if the real secret lies in mastering yourself? Your expectations, your reactions, your emotional discipline, and the way you show up every day as a man. This is where Stoic philosophy offers men a powerful roadmap, a way to build love that doesn't just survive time, but grows stronger because of it. Long-term relationships are a test, not of passion, but of character. In the early months, chemistry does the work for you. Everything feels effortless. But as life pressures increase, as flaws become visible, and as routine settles in, true satisfaction depends on something deeper than feelings, your mindset. And no mindset is more practical, more powerful, or more stabilizing for a man in love than Stoicism. Stoicism isn't emotional numbness. It isn't pretending not to care. It isn't suppressing desire or avoiding vulnerability. Stoicism is the art of mastering your inner world so that external circumstances, her moods, life stress, conflict, disappointment, or uncertainty, don't shape your identity, your peace, or your leadership as a man. A Stoic man creates satisfaction in a relationship not by controlling his partner, but by controlling himself. Not by demanding love, but by embodying character that naturally inspires love. Not by relying on luck, but by living with intention, clarity, and emotional integrity. In this long-form guide, we will break down the core Stoic principles that allow men to build and maintain a fulfilling long-term relationship, a relationship that is stable but not boring, passionate but not chaotic, intimate but not dependent. Each section reveals a crucial mindset or skill that every man must develop, not only to keep his relationship strong, but to keep himself strong inside it. Let's begin. Section 1. Satisfaction begins with self-mastery, not with a perfect partner. Most men make a fundamental mistake in long-term relationships. They assume disappointment comes from their partner, her flaws, her changing moods, her shifting needs. But Stoicism teaches that dissatisfaction almost always comes from within. A relationship doesn't fall apart because a woman is imperfect. It falls apart when a man expects her to complete him, fix him, regulate him, or be the constant source of his happiness. Stoicism gives us the opposite framework. If your peace depends on the behavior of another, you will never know peace. Why self-mastery is the foundation of long-term satisfaction. Your emotions shape the emotional climate of the relationship. A man who loses control, anger, jealousy, defensiveness, insecurity, creates instability. A man who remains grounded creates safety. Your expectations determine your disappointments. Women will change. Life will shift. Desire will fluctuate. If you expect perfection, you guarantee dissatisfaction. Your discipline sets the tone for growth. Love grows when both people grow. If you stagnate, the relationship stagnates. Your leadership guides the direction of the relationship. Leadership in love is not dominance, it is responsibility. It's being the one who stabilizes, initiates, and navigates challenges. Self-mastery creates a positive chain reaction. When a man masters his reactions, his communication, his ego, his triggers, his focus, his purpose, everything improves. Conflicts become calmer. Intimacy deepens. Trust becomes easier. Connection feels safer. Attraction lasts longer. A woman feels most satisfied not with a perfect man, but with a man who stays emotionally steady, present, reliable, and growing. What self-mastery looks like in daily life. You don't take her bad day personally. You respond instead of react. You express needs clearly rather than explode. You protect the relationship by controlling your impulses. You stay disciplined even when you feel lazy or distracted. You remain calm when she becomes emotional. You hold yourself accountable instead of blaming her. This is not about suppressing your emotions. It's about becoming a man whose emotions serve him, not sabotage him. Stoic truth, you are the standard. A woman cannot rise above the emotional standard set by her man. If you are chaotic, she will feel insecure. If you are inconsistent, she will feel anxious. If you are passive, she will feel unloved. If you are unstable, she will feel unsafe. But when you remain centered, she feels grounded. When you remain resilient, she feels supported. When you remain purposeful, she feels inspired. When you remain emotionally disciplined, she feels secure. Long-term satisfaction is not random. It is the result of who you become over time. Self-mastery is not the first step. It is every step. Part 2. The Pillars of Stoic Love, Building Lasting Satisfaction. Communication without chaos, speaking and listening like a Stoic man. Long-term relationships are less about grand romantic gestures and more about the daily rhythm of communication. Words are the bridge between your inner world and hers. But most men sabotage this bridge with impatience, defensiveness, or neediness. Stoicism teaches a radically different approach: clear, calm, intentional, and honest communication. 1. Speak from clarity, not emotion. Emotional reactivity often erodes connection faster than any external problem. When your partner is upset, the first instinct for many men is to argue, justify, or lecture. But a Stoic man responds differently. He pauses before reacting. He examines whether his feelings are rational or fleeting. He chooses words that are constructive, not destructive. He communicates needs calmly, not forcefully. For example, if she's frustrated about a minor disagreement, instead of saying, "Why are you making a big deal out of nothing?" a Stoic man might say, "I understand you're upset. Let's figure out how to solve this together." This approach does two things. It prevents escalation. It signals emotional stability, which fosters trust and attraction. 2. Listen like you own nothing but your attention. Listening is more than hearing words. It is giving presence without judgment. Stoicism teaches that you can control your response, but not her words or feelings. Therefore, the focus is on absorbing and understanding, not reacting impulsively. Nod, reflect, and paraphrase to show comprehension. Avoid planning your response while she's speaking. Resist the urge to fix everything immediately. Sometimes, she just needs acknowledgement. By mastering this, you create emotional safety, which is the cornerstone of satisfaction in long-term relationships. 3. Speak less, mean more. A Stoic principle is economy of action, and this extends to words. Avoid unnecessary complaints, nagging, or emotional dumping. Every word should serve a purpose, clarity, support, or constructive guidance. This restraint creates respect and prevents fatigue, both of which are fatal to long-term intimacy if neglected. Have you ever realized that, in love, moments of silence are sometimes more powerful than 1,000 words? Because in silence, we can hear our heartbeat more clearly and feel the presence of the other person more deeply. Here, I want to explore with you that strength, peace, and stability even when love goes through challenges. If you feel that these shares bring you something positive, please click like to support. And if you haven't clicked subscribe, do it now, so you don't miss any insight into love and maturity. I also hope to hear your story. What is the most valuable lesson that love has taught you? Please share in the comments section so we can learn and be inspired together. Come on, let's move on to the next part with a more prepared mind. Section 3, The Power of Emotional Independence. A man's happiness should not be dependent on his partner's behavior. Emotional independence is critical for long-term satisfaction. Why? Because a relationship is never static, moods fluctuate, life pressures increase, and stress will appear. Men who cling to dependency inadvertently generate resentment and tension. 1. Happiness comes from within. The Stoic man understands. External events do not disturb us, our judgments about them do. If your joy relies solely on her validation or affection, you will inevitably feel insecure, jealous, or disappointed. True satisfaction emerges from internal fulfillment, not external approval. Cultivate hobbies, purpose, and growth outside the relationship. Practice gratitude for what you already have. Maintain a life that is full, interesting, and meaningful independent of her presence. This independence is magnetic. Women are drawn to men who are complete, capable, and unshakable, not desperate for their attention or approval. 2. Detachment enhances intimacy. Paradoxically, the more you detach from needing her to make you happy, the more intimate your relationship becomes. Why? Because you engage from a place of freedom, not neediness. You can love freely without imposing invisible demands or expectations, creating a safe, nurturing space for connection. Section 4. Consistent presence, being reliable without being clingy. Consistency is the unsung hero of relationship satisfaction. Passion is fleeting, but trust and reliability endure. Stoicism teaches that virtue lies in habitual action, not sporadic emotion. 1. Reliability builds security. Being consistently present, physically, emotionally, and mentally, creates a stable environment for love to thrive. This does not mean over-availability or losing boundaries. Rather, show up when you commit. Keep your promises. Be predictable in integrity. Handle conflicts calmly and thoughtfully. When a woman experiences stability from her partner, she feels safe, respected, and valued. That feeling is far more potent for long-term satisfaction than short-lived passion or grand gestures. 2. Boundaries enhance respect. Consistency also means knowing where you stand and holding boundaries firmly. This is a Stoic principle: you cannot control her behavior, but you can control what you accept. Do not tolerate disrespect. Do not compromise core values to appease her temporarily. Balance giving with self-respect. Boundaries are not walls, they are structures that enable trust, mutual respect, and emotional safety. Ironically, women often feel more attracted when a man enforces healthy boundaries, because it demonstrates self-respect and strength. Section 5. Passion meets discipline, keeping romance alive. Long-term relationships often falter because men mistake routine for love. Passion fades not because love disappears, but because discipline is missing. Stoicism teaches that sustained effort, not emotion alone, is what preserves attraction and intimacy. 1. Small acts, consistently executed. Grand romantic gestures are memorable but rare. Small, intentional acts repeated consistently create long-term satisfaction. Compliment her authentically. Acknowledge her contributions. Express appreciation daily. Maintain physical touch and affection in small ways. These acts signal care, attention, and respect, reinforcing both connection and desire. 2. Sexual connection requires presence, not pressure. Sexual intimacy is less about spontaneity and more about presence and alignment. A Stoic man understands. Consent and desire are mutual, not coercive. Emotional connection enhances physical satisfaction. Anxiety, frustration, or neediness kills attraction instantly. By practicing patience, awareness, and emotional regulation, sexual intimacy becomes a natural extension of deep emotional satisfaction. Section 6. Embracing change, the Stoic approach to life's inevitable shifts. No relationship remains static. Circumstances change: jobs, health, stress, or family pressures. Women evolve. You evolve. Challenges will test the bond. A Stoic man accepts change as inevitable. It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Instead of resisting, complaining, or controlling her life or choices, adapt calmly to new realities. View challenges as opportunities for growth. Maintain your integrity while being flexible where possible. Resilience in the face of change is far more attractive and stabilizing than any romantic gesture. It is the bedrock of lasting satisfaction. Part 3. Deepening connection through Stoic principles. Section 7. Handling conflict with calm and wisdom. Conflict is inevitable in any long-term relationship. The question is not whether disagreements will occur, but how you respond to them. Most men react impulsively: anger, defensiveness, guilt-tripping, or avoidance. Stoicism teaches a different path: calm, rational, and intentional engagement. 1. Separate fact from emotion. A Stoic man examines the situation clearly. What is the actual problem? Which parts are facts, which are interpretations? How much of the conflict is your judgment rather than reality? By distinguishing perception from reality, you reduce emotional chaos and respond more effectively. 2. Respond, don't react. Impulse drives arguments, intention creates resolution. A Stoic approach includes pausing before speaking. Speaking only when you can contribute constructively. Avoiding blame, sarcasm, or ultimatums. Conflict becomes an opportunity to strengthen trust and understanding rather than erode it. 3. Focus on solutions, not winning. Many men treat disagreements like competitions. A Stoic man seeks mutual resolution, not personal victory. He asks, how can we solve this together? What can I do to honor both of our needs? By prioritizing the relationship over ego, satisfaction deepens on both sides. In love, sometimes silence is the answer. It gives us time to listen to ourselves and understand the other person's heart better. That's also the reason I share stories on this channel, so that you have a pause, a peaceful space to reflect. If you find this meaningful, please click like and don't forget to subscribe, so that we can continue to accompany each other on the journey to find a peaceful and profound love. Now, let's continue the rest with me. Section 8, Long-Term Attraction and Personal Growth. Attraction in a long-term relationship is not maintained by superficial traits or novelty alone. It thrives on continuous personal development, purpose, and competence. 1. Be a man of substance. Women are unconsciously attracted to men who embody stability, ambition, emotional intelligence, reliability, integrity. A Stoic man does not rely on charm or luck. He focuses on becoming excellent in all areas of life. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. 2. Embrace lifelong self-improvement. Growth is magnetic. When a man continues to learn, expand skills, pursue goals, and refine character, he inspires admiration and respect. This applies not only to career or physical fitness, but also emotional depth, empathy, and wisdom. A relationship thrives when both partners grow, but the man's self-mastery sets the standard and stabilizes attraction. 3. Lead through example. A Stoic man does not demand change in his partner, he embodies it in himself. Women respond more powerfully to a man who lives with discipline, purpose, and calm confidence than to endless persuasion or complaints. Section 9, Creating Emotional Safety and Intimacy. Long-term satisfaction requires emotional safety, the invisible foundation on which trust, desire, and intimacy flourish. 1. Emotional safety is non-negotiable. She must feel she can express vulnerability without fear of judgment. Share her feelings without triggering anger or defensiveness. Discuss mistakes or fears without punishment. Stoicism equips men to remain calm, composed, and empathetic even in emotionally charged situations, creating a safe space where love deepens naturally. 2. Balance presence and autonomy. Emotional safety also means balancing closeness with independence. Be attentive without being overbearing. Offer support without smothering. Encourage her growth while maintaining your own. Women are drawn to men who can hold space for them without losing themselves. This is a Stoic hallmark, presence with boundaries. 3. Vulnerability as strength. A Stoic man knows that true vulnerability is strategic and controlled, not chaotic. By sharing feelings thoughtfully and authentically, he fosters deeper connection, making her feel understood and cherished. Section 10, Shared Purpose and Legacy. Long-term satisfaction is amplified when a couple shares values, vision, and purpose. Stoicism emphasizes living in accordance with nature and virtue, principles that can guide relationships. 1. Align on core values. Identify shared principles, honesty, respect, family, work ethic, and lifestyle. Alignment reduces unnecessary conflict and strengthens emotional intimacy. 2. Build a life, not just a relationship. A Stoic man thinks in terms of legacy, what impact he and the relationship have over time. Shared projects, ambitions, and life goals deepen satisfaction far beyond daily routines or surface-level romance. 3. Love as a partnership of growth. When both partners commit to mutual growth and support, the relationship becomes a partnership, not a burden. Stoic philosophy reminds men to lead by example. Support without controlling. Accept imperfection while striving for virtue. The result, a relationship that evolves, endures, and continually satisfies both partners. Section 11. The long game, consistency, patience, and resilience. Satisfaction is rarely instant, it is cultivated over years through consistent practice. Stoic men understand patience with growth and change, consistency in actions and values, resilience in the face of trials, stress, or relational ups and downs. Long-term fulfillment is less about peak moments of passion and more about daily choices that reinforce respect, trust, and emotional safety. The relationship is like a garden, the Stoic man knows. Water daily, remove weeds, and protect it from storms. The harvest comes slowly, but it is lasting. Conclusion. Maintaining satisfaction in a long-term relationship is not about luck, fleeting passion, or grand romantic gestures. True, lasting fulfillment arises from consistent self-mastery, intentional action, and emotional discipline. A Stoic man understands that his happiness does not depend on his partner's moods, decisions, or validation. Instead, it begins with himself, his character, his integrity, and his ability to navigate challenges calmly and purposefully. In practice, this means communicating with clarity, listening with presence, and responding rather than reacting. It means embracing emotional independence while remaining deeply present, creating stability and safety without suffocating the relationship. It means balancing intimacy with autonomy, passion with discipline, and personal growth with partnership. Each choice, small or large, reinforces the foundation of trust, respect, and mutual admiration. A long-term relationship is a living system. Women are naturally drawn to men who provide security, consistency, and inspiration, not chaos, neediness, or volatility. When a man embodies these Stoic principles, he becomes the anchor of the relationship. The person who uplifts, guides, and protects without controlling, who loves without clinging, and who inspires loyalty through action rather than demand. Ultimately, long-term satisfaction is cultivated, not granted. It requires patience, resilience, and conscious effort every day. The Stoic man knows that while he cannot control his partner's feelings or choices, he can control his own actions, mindset, and growth. And it is through this disciplined, grounded, and purposeful presence that a man not only sustains love but deepens it, creating a partnership that endures the tests of time and life's inevitable changes. In the end, the secret is simple but profound: master yourself first, and the relationship will thrive naturally. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm so happy to share my lessons about love and relationships with you. I hope you learned something new and can apply it to your life. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Thank you for always accompanying and supporting me. Wish you a good day and don't forget to love yourself a lot.